Greetings, humanity, and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I'm Jim, I use he, him pronouns, and this is the first ever stream of 1 Year Hence, a game that I've been designing that's descended from the Queen, inspired by the story of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. We'll be telling the story of 4 people traveling to the Green Chapel to meet their fates on New Year's Day. I am nervous as hell, but we're going to get through this. But we're going to go around and say hi to everybody. And, I forgot to mention this again a little bit earlier, but we're just going to go around and say hi, tell us who you are, and anything you would like, any one thing you would like to tell us about yourself, basically. If you have like a favorite myth or something like that, that would be great, but anything, any one thing. And we are going to start with Mads. Hello.
Hello. I'm Mads, she, they pronouns. I really love playing tabletop role-playing games. A favorite myth, my God. I don't know, because there's too many of them, honestly. And I love playing in the field of like some Arthurian lore. I had finished a very short series of Hearts of Camelot a few months ago, and that was like pretty cool. You can check it out on my YouTube channel, also Madeline Colley. And I'm very excited for this. I did get a chance to play the Green Knight RPG. It was okay. It's okay. But this one is going to be more exciting because I love For the Queen. So I can't wait.
Yay! So I'm very happy to have you back on the channel. And now we are going to head over to a couple of new faces on the channel. We're going to go over first to Noctua. Hello.
Hello. I'm Noctua. I'm nervous as hell. I'm new at this. This is my first stream ever. So, yay, I'm excited to be here. Favorite myth? I actually really like the Anansi stories, like the folk tales.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun. So, I know my way around Arthurian legends, just about. If you catch any Monty Python references, that's because that's where I got a lot of it from. But happy to be here.
Awesome. You know, it's funny. I heard it said that actually the Monty Python version of the Holy Grail story is probably the most historically accurate. Strangely enough. So it's an interesting thing. And now finally we will head over to Chloe. Hello.
Hello. I'm Chloe. Any pronouns. Avid TTRPG player. I also sometimes do actual plays over at Flights of Fandom on Monopod Studios. Favorite myth. I'm more of a fairy tale person than mythology. Mythology was like my K through 12 thing, and then I sort of transitioned into being like fairy tales. Great. I like the little things, which Little Red Riding Hood is my favorite. But I have an extremely soft spot in my heart for the story of Osiris, because I was very into Egyptian mythology when I was younger. I'm not an expert on Arthurian stuff, but I saw The Green Knight and I loved it, and it made me more interested in it. So, yeah. Great film.
Yeah, that was like one of the best depictions I've seen. Despite, even though they flipped so much of it upside down, but it was brilliant. It's just brilliant. As folks might be able to guess, my favorite myth is kind of this one, but also, I mean, it's usually it's like neck and neck typically between the Green Knight and the Odyssey, pretty much as these things go, for me. But
I picked the Odyssey as my favorite myth. Sorry, thank you for mentioning that.
Perfect. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. It's basically what does travel do to one? Basically. But just before we dive in, like we do with the other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. So if we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else. Hold up a card, make an X symbol, and we'll go back and we'll do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil. So it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it, when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much, then everyone else can respond to that, again, with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game has the potential for discussions of death, decapitation, dismemberment, being lost in the wilderness, and being hunted by supernatural creatures. You can see that at any time in chat by typing !1ONECW for content warning, and that text will display. Let me move that on my personal screen over to the right-hand side so that I can see it a little better. There we are. So that will also be on rotation, so that'll appear periodically. Also, please remember that we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It's just a game, and mental health is always more important. So this game is very much like For the Queen in the way that it is set up in its basic setup. For folks who have seen For the Queen before, we are going to answer prompts. And that will help us not only discover kind of who our characters are, but what their relationship is to the setting and what the way things are in the setting in the first place. I've added a few little bells and whistles that we'll get into as we go. But we now enter our setup. So we're going to be going around and reading out the instructions. We have this whole set of instruction cards that we have here that we'll take turns going around and reading. If folks, you should be able to in the Roll20, you should be able to choose and be able to pull the cards out and drag them out into like the prompt square there when you're ready. Who wants to start?
I can start. Okay. I unmuted first.
Okay. And again, the order we're going to be going in for these purposes are going to be Chloe, myself, Mads, and Noctua. So feel free to grab card number 1 and drag it out there.
Instruction number 1. Read these cards aloud in order.
Excellent. On the eve of the new year, the Green Knight visited your kingdom, where you all serve the crown in one way or another. Muted.
Yep. The knight traveled throughout the capital, repeatedly issuing a challenge to any who would hear them.
Here, take up my axe. You may strike a single blow against me with it, and in 1 year and a day, I shall strike a blow in kind.
For your own reasons, each of you at different times and places that day answered the knight's challenge.
You each struck the knight a mortal wound, and yet they went on living.
The knight had the power to heal instantly, picking up and reattaching lost limbs, or even their own head.
Before riding off, the knight told you to find them at the Green Chapel, 1 year hence, on the first day of the new year.
In the eyes of the royal court, you are honor-bound to fulfill your agreement.
It has been decreed that all of you, as a group, will travel to the Green Chapel. You have gathered together and begun your journey.
Place the X card somewhere everyone can reach it.
Right there.
You come across a concept, a card, or an answer that you don't want to be included in the game, tap the X card or otherwise indicate you are invoking it. That content is removed from the game.
Randomly draw or choose a touchstone card to help provide inspiration for the kingdom in which you live. Discuss what the image on the card means with everyone. You may use more than one touchstone card for this if you like.
Okay, let's go ahead and let's stop for a second and do that. Let me go ahead and make the touchstone cards visible here. All right. So we go ahead and shuffle these again. Do we want to do we want to choose one, or do we want to just draw one?
Draw one. Make it random.
Draw one.
That one.
All right. I'll go ahead and pull one. The healer.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What do we think for the kingdom, the healer?
A lot of snakes. I'm like half joking, but I'm also not, because I feel like, you know, you can do interesting things with either healing snakes or snake bites.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, going full literalism with that imagery.
I was just, it took me a second to even remember. Oh, yes, there are snakes in there. Yeah. What if there is some sort of like, there is some sort of like the kingdom is renowned for this thing, this curative, that they harvest from local snakes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of serpentine imagery because of it. So I mean, like there's a lot of coiling, or, you know, again, like, you know, some kind of like snake colors, very inherent in our kingdom.
You know how I can't remember the exact thing, but it's like the saying about the order of the colors on two snakes that look very similar, and one is venomous and the other isn't.
Yes.
I feel like that kind of like color signaling is like very important.
Ooh. So it's very much a, you know, if the red touches black, this is a good sign. But if the red touches yellow, then you know that this is where all the dangerous stuff happens.
Just like flags.
God.
Yeah. I'm wondering if this curative that this kingdom gets from the snakes gives our knights some confidence that whatever blow may be struck, well, they've got a panacea back home. So
as long as someone gets the body back home, we can reach anything.
One of us has to be relatively whole to bring the others back. Oh no.
Nice. No, I like that. I like that a lot. Just that whole idea.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, this will be fun.
This will be great.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot.
This will be great.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was just doing a quick sound check in case things got weird for a second there. Excellent. So I like that. I like that a lot. The idea. So there's probably a lot of demand put on this kingdom, and probably a lot of, and there are probably a lot of folks who want what this kingdom has. So that also puts it in an interesting position. Do we want to define anything more about this, or do we want to move on? For now.
We want another touchstone card?
Yeah, let's see if we can grab one more touchstone card.
Sure.
I'll draw it.
Yeah, feel free.
Ugh. Okay. The swarm. Oh boy.
Oh, this kingdom gets real interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Swarms or snake swarms.
Lots of snakes.
That's why it's exceptionally valuable, is because it only happens once or twice a year.
Ooh, yeah.
When the snakes come through on some kind of migration.
The snakes migrate. I like that.
So, what if this is even more of a, it's like, okay, so bear with me here. What if this is something where, like, the people who founded this kingdom took it as a way to sort of figure out how to defend themselves? And the idea is that the kingdom in its earlier years was known for a lot of swarm tactics.
Oh,
Basically,
nice.
They watched the snakes and they figured out what to do.
Nice.
Oh, I
sort
love
of-
that.
Yeah.
Sort of what, yeah. And so the idea is that it's that partially kind of answers the question somewhat of how it was able to maintain what it has, is because they have built up, and also because death is perhaps not as big an obstacle in this kingdom, they have the spare population. Spare population is a terrible expression. I shall never use it again. Good God.
Really getting into the feudal king mindset.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh,
Yeah,
my.
we don't know what the. Yeah, we haven't defined exactly what the situation is, but if it's a monarchy, well, but in any case, but yeah, just the idea that that they have so many, maybe they have people that you grow up, they're dedicated to being part of the swarm.
Maybe that's what they call the fighting force. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what they call us.
Yeah.
I wonder if any of them can fly.
We'll find out.
Maybe,
Find out.
maybe we don't know, but this is fascinating. This is very interesting.
I want to say it's an honor to be a part of the fighting force. It is considered valorous to be of a quality that you are part of the swarm.
Maybe one of our ideas is that we are going to use this tactic against the Green Knight.
Oh my God.
Oh.
I'm going to send a retinue of just you and your closest 100 friends. You're going to visit the Green Knight.
Very cool and normal.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fine. That's an interesting idea. No, I love that.
So, did we happen to bring a basket full of snakes with us?
Easily. We could have.
It's like those backpacks that people have with the little like round plastic bubble for their cats to
No!
look out of, but it's our snakes.
And somebody could possibly have a basket with them that,
Yeah,
like, you
and-
know, capped and like has a bunch of snakes in it. You know, we
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know.
I'm sure
The
there are
snake
people
basket.
whose entire lives and careers are dedicated to taking care of the snakes. Any of the ones that they just that by now are kept domestically.
God.
Just the idea. Are there a lot of pet snakes in this kingdom, or is that just like primarily a ruling
I feel
a
like it's
ruling
gotta be
class
considered
thing?
rude to have a pet snake.
They're more venerated then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe the snakes aren't pets so much as they are part of the household. Again,
Like
it's
cats.
considered, yeah, kind of like cats.
I love the idea that you go into the palace and just every now you're going to find snakes slithering in different places because they go where they will.
Yes.
There are
For sure.
absolutely no mice in this kingdom.
Our
Pest control is on
ecosystem
lock.
is balancing on the edge of a knife.
And that's the thing, though. It's just that by now, and it's like I think that probably like a good portion of the population probably is immune to the venom.
Well, that's why we
Uh,
consider it the curative, because it's
Yeah.
like, you know, we've been using it for so long.
Yes,
For sure.
the venom is the cure. I love it. All right, are we ready to proceed?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's to me,
Yes.
if I remember correctly. Okay. for number 14. Okay. Randomly draw or choose a touchstone card to help provide inspiration for your game's version of the Green Knight. Discuss what the image on the card means with everyone. You may use more than one touchstone card for this if you like. Shall we choose or draw?
Draw.
Let's draw. Can I draw a card?
Yeah, sure. Feel free.
All right, here we go. The
Ooh.
needle.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. What about this? The Green Knight was at some point considered a surgeon.
Ooh.
That's what drew him to this kingdom in the first place. He heard of this curative and said, I wonder what they're doing over there. Came in and maybe was displeased or took offense, which is why he issued his challenge in the first place.
Oh.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I recently read this book it was really this horror book called Leech by Hiron Innes. It was really good. But one of the things is that like the Leech is sort of a play on words, and the main character is a doctor, but like a parasite on humans that is like basically wiped out any other chance that humans have to do medical stuff themselves, because they're like, we have to be in control of this. And so I wonder if that's like the vibe here, like the Green Knight's like, this is an affront to the medical profession that you just rely on this snake venom to cure everything. Like you're literally preventing people from like working.
That's amazing. Well, and also I'm wondering if it's like, if they're just troubled by what the kingdom's relationship with snakes.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you doing this? The snakes are a part of nature, and you are subverting that.
Yeah. We're putting them to work. And they should be just slithering around doing what they want.
Yeah. It's fascinating. There's like some kind of a... Oh. So does that make the Green Knight almost like some kind of chirurgeon, because like they can reattach pieces of themselves?
Yeah.
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 That
And
rules.
the Green Knight has some sort of magic, obviously, I would guess, going on, because they can be decapitated and they're fine. But they've got... So it's possibly... This might just be a situation of competing magics, almost.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, the snakes, it's very sort of like a natural thing, but also...
But he's upset that we've harnessed it.
Yes.
Yeah. That's very interesting. That's fascinating. I like that idea. Are we good with what we have at this point, or did we want more?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Cool.
what we have.
Yeah, I think we're
too.
good. I think we're good. All
Okay.
right. So then we go back to our instructions, and I believe Mads draws number 15.
Mm-hmm. If you wish, you may look through the remaining touchstones and select, or randomly draw, 1 or 2 cards to help inspire your character.
Yes. So, what do we... So if you like, I can deal them out, or if you want, you can just grab them. What do you want to do?
We'll draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's draw.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and...
Oh, I'm looking at the buttons for choose and draw, and I think if I pick draw, it will reveal to the whole table, right?
No.
No, only... No, it'll put it in your hand.
Right in your hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of us let us guide you through the terror that is roll 20.
Yes, exactly. Terror indeed. So, yeah, I drew 2 cards. So.
I'm obsessed with the cards I drew. They're
Oh,
so
yeah.
ominous.
Oh, no.
I got ominous ones too. This is gonna be so much fun.
Hell yeah.
Oh, wow.
I suppose it's possible that the touchstones are just ominous by nature, which is
Yeah.
good.
we might be assigning more gravitas to them than is necessary, but
Possible.
All right, I'm feeling a little dumb, so I have to look up one of my cards because I'm not sure if I understand what its
Oh, I'm
function
so
is.
curious about what it is.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Come
I'm
on.
gonna figure out how I want to. Hmm. Hmm. I got kind of an unusual combination. And folks, just let me know when you're ready, or just say when you're ready, and we'll go on to the
Ready.
next one.
Although I've lost track of whose turn it is to do the.
Oh,
it mine?
I did 15.
Okay.
I've been
so-
writing the numbers down. So
Oh, so
Okay.
smart.
it's Noctua's.
Awesome. All right. This is if my roll 20 functions. Something might have just glitched. I'm sorry.
Always a danger. You're still showing up in there though.
Yeah.
so-
Okay. It won't let me choose a card, and I don't know why.
Huh.
Oh,
Huh.
weird.
Sorry.
Make
Weird.
sure-
Oh, here it is. Okay. Found it. Does this show up for y'all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Look through the Winter Prompt deck and set aside the card that says, "You have arrived at the Green Chapel."
Oh yeah. Now the way this works, it's I'll go ahead and display that card. I'll pull it out and display it, but I'm probably gonna put it back in in a moment so that folks can see. Hey, there it is. But there's more to come.
Yes.
Right. That
So we
card
can-
looks so cool. I love the art on it.
Mm-hmm.
I am so taken by the font. Just for all the cards, the font.
It's
Yes, I also wanted the typeface.
yeah. The font is called Primitive. Strangely enough.
It's so
Um,
pretty.
And so I think the next prompt goes to Chloe.
Yeah. For a shorter game, remove up to 6 cards from each of the 4 prompt decks.
Now, things I should have done before we started. I'm going to do that because it can be a while. So I'm going to just pull out 6 cards from each one. Just so that is taken care of. And so that way we don't have to worry about that. Okay. And that is actually the advantage of pulling that one card out of Winter, so I don't accidentally pull... We don't accidentally pull that one. Okay, and let me just check something to make sure I did this right. Because I sometimes I am too clever for my own good when I start doing these things. Yes, I see what I did. Let me fix that. There we go. I did that thing where it's I pulled almost the amount of cards that I needed, but not quite. Let's see. Good. There we go. And I need to pull 2 more cards out of there. There we go. Okay, excellent. Good. All right, and so now that being done, I will go ahead and pull out the next prompt, the instruction card. And it says, shuffle each of the 4 prompt decks. Each deck represents a season.
Okay, and place the green chapel card in the bottom half of the winter prompt deck.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick up that card, and I'm going to recall it to the winter deck. Since I think I can do that separately.
Okay.
Yes, good, excellent, excellent. And I'll shuffle it a bit just so that it's in a random spot. There we go. Okay. Good.
Place each of the 4 prompt decks face down in the middle of the table, on top of each other, and in order. Winter is placed first, autumn goes on top of winter, summer goes on top of autumn, and spring goes on top of summer.
For those of us using a physical table, which physical version of this game doesn't exist yet, but it will one day.
If you get stuck on a question, remember you can draw a touchstone card at any time to help provide inspiration for your journey.
Yep. All right. Going clockwise around the table, which in this case is going to be our zigzag pattern that we've established, take turns drawing a prompt card, reading it aloud, and answering its questions. Feel free to interpret the questions in any manner you like.
On your turn, other players may ask you additional questions or make suggestions, but whether you respond to those questions or suggestions is entirely up to you.
Roll20 is doing the thing. Here we go. If you draw a card that's then removed from the game via the X card, you don't lose your turn. Simply draw another card and continue. You can X card a card you drew yourself.
You can also pass on your turn. To do so, give the prompt card you drew to the next player and tell them, I'd like to hear your answer to this question.
A prompt card can be passed around the table until someone applies the X card to it. If the prompt is answered, play proceeds from the next player after the one who answered it.
Draw a season card at the turn of each season, starting with summer. Let each player answer the question on it, then proceed to the next prompt card.
Continue until the green chapel card is drawn. Each player should answer that card's question in turn. Then the game is over.
Begin when you're ready. Whoever wants to can draw the first prompt card.
All right. Well then, are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So who wants to start?
Do we want to just keep going in the order?
Yeah.
Easily can. Okay.
Yep.
Easy to remember.
Yeah.
Who was last?
That's
Was that-
you, Jim.
That's
Okay,
you.
I go next. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I shall do that thing then. Let me go ahead and. All right. Oh, okay. Green Knight once faced someone close to you. How did it end? I think that he carried them off. I think they took them away. Something happened. and they carried this person away. And I have not seen them since.
In what way was this person close to you?
I think that I think this was my apprentice. And yeah, I think it was someone he hadn't been apprenticed to me for very long. But we were getting along incredibly well. But the lessons were not going well. And or perhaps too well. As singers of nature, we try to come into balance with it. We were trying to convince the knight that what our kingdom was doing was just. I don't know if he took a shine to the lad, if they took a shine to the lad or not, but there was a brief confrontation. I didn't see everything that happened by the time I got there. I saw the knight carrying him away in their arms and stepping into the wood and vanishing. I don't know what happened.
How long ago was this? When was the last time you saw your apprentice?
Let's say it's been about a decade.
Wow.
What was his name?
Not a clue.
What an unusual name.
It is an unusual name. Perhaps he didn't like that everyone called him that, so that might have been a problem. Yeah. I don't have one right now, but I can probably come up with one in a bit if we need one. Let's see.
Adaklu. Noctua gave you a name.
Yes.
No,
Your apprentice's
oh my
name
God.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Nadaklu. We'll try that on, and if I have trouble saying it with a straight face, I will replace it with something else.
Amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Amazing. Terrific.
Any other questions?
No.
Over to Mads.
Okay. What about the Green Knight's appearance or demeanor was disturbingly familiar to you? He had a badge. I thought it was his at first. It was a compass rose. But I realized after he taunted me that he had won it from someone I had known from the place that I had come. He had said, "This, a symbol of all directions, but you are without." this badge. And also without direction. As if he knew. As if he knew that I'd come to this kingdom in search of my friend. And had I but known it, I didn't need to look any further than him.
Can you recall one specific event involving your friend and the badge that places it so heavily in your mind that you connect your friend with that badge? Was there one event that caused that link?
Yeah. I gave it to him. I gave it to my friend. I said, "You are the one who has given me purpose. You are the one who has given me direction, even in all ways. This shows my devotion to you. I know you have to make your way, and I will come and find you, because my direction is always you." And I said this to him, my friend, under a constellation-laden sky. And he pointed at the stars, and this compass rose and said, "Always lead to your heart."
Did you say, and forgive me if I missed this, did you say where the badge came from in the first place?
I gave it to my friend.
Well, yes, but where did you get it?
I had it made. There was no other design, no other place it could have come from.
There we go. Yeah.
Wait, did I draw a duplicate?
That's weird. Let me take a look here.
Oh.
There's something weird about the...
Oh, I wonder if it's just my roll 20, because it's been weird all day.
Oh no, it came out as duplicate here as well. Let me go ahead and
Yeah.
reload mine just to see. Because there's an odd thing here. Let me try
Give me-
something.
Sorry, I broke it!
Ah, no worries.
It
I'm gonna try
breaks
shuffling
itself.
Yeah,
Not
it's
you.
roll 20.
Yeah, it breaks
All right.
itself. It's not you.
Yeah, that's
It's
fine.
not
Yeah, that's
going
fine.
wrong. It's not roll 20.
That's a great slogan.
I say that every time I roll dice on here.
I went ahead and I reshuffled. That might be better now.
Alright, try it again.
Yeah.
Ah, here we go. Alright. What questionable action did you take to gain the trust of the royal family?
Ooh, I see.
So, We here in this kingdom like to say that our snake oil cures anything, and we have the utmost faith in our snakes. But when the old king was ailing, and, well, a hunting wound he had received turned gangrenous with surprising rapidity, we found that, well, our snake oil didn't do as much as we would have liked. So, as taboo as it may have been, I went on a voyage to find something, anything, that would be more effective than our homegrown tried and true method. And I did. And, well, the man I had to turn to for sound antibiotic advice, well, let's just say he wasn't a fan of the snake oil. But his advice was good. And the old king survived his war wound. Granted, his daughter's taken the throne. It's been a couple decades since. There may not be many who remember. But of those who remain, I can say for sure the fellow who gave me the advice is still around.
And he's never betrayed you? In terms
What?
of saying that it was his advice rather than our cherished snake oil that saved the king?
He has, for reasons I cannot fathom, kept his silence and my trust low these many years.
So how much money do you pay him?
Well, I promised to let him take a swing at me.
Aha!
Think you might regret that one?
We'll see. But my actions here saved the kingdom and its reputation and the king. And I lived another 20 years. So if my time has come, worth it.
Oh. Do you have any speculation as to why this individual might have wanted to help the kingdom at that time?
I'm not sure. I could guess, but quite frankly, they don't pay me to think.
Amazing.
Nice. Any further questions? No?
All right. When you started your journey, you left a loved one behind. What token of protection did they offer you before you left? I left behind my lover and our young child. And the token that they gave me was a necklace with one of our child's milk teeth on it, so that I would keep them close to my heart.
Did they say anything about how this might provide protection to you?
It was more implied. It wasn't. They seemed to think that it might come in handy at some point, but wouldn't say how. And I've learned not to question them on these matters.
What is special about these milk teeth? These aren't human milk teeth, are they?
How dare you?
Otherwise, why would they be a token of protection? This would just be a sentimental token.
Sometimes sentiment is a protection on its own.
Any further questions? All right. We're good. I'll go ahead and pull the next one. One sec. Where am I? There I am. Okay. This is the last card of spring because we are because of the timing of everything.
Fair enough.
Who offered you sorceress assistance before you left home? What price did they ask?
Wow.
Whoopsie.
I need a title for so yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, this was perhaps a bit, one gets a little desperate sometimes. I'm going on this challenge because I on the hopes perhaps of finding out what happened to my apprentice. And what happened to my apprentice Nod. And I communicate with nature in a very different way from most of our citizenry. And so I know some of those who are on the outskirts. So I'm just checking to see if there's a better word for what I'm about to say or not. Nope. Nope, we're going to go with this. So there is a we don't talk about this a lot, but I went out into the woods and I had a little chat with the mongoose keeper. And they understand that, like life and growth, entropy too has a place in things. In the natural world, some populations need to be contained. And so I went out to their hut. And They offered me... They offered me an out. They offered me a means to simply shift the way of things and bring Nod back, and I did not want to go there. I did not want to go that far. So instead, they gave me... Well, it's a compass, essentially. That I did accept. It is, it should... it should point our way. What price did they ask? Now, it is an interesting thing. They want something of the Green Knights. What, I can't say. Actually, they couldn't say. But just anything. Anything belonging to the Green Knight. That's what they want.
Have a sense of who. Oh, you go.
Sorry. Did they specify whether this thing could be freely given, or did it have to be taken?
I think they said they'd prefer it be taken, but it can be freely given.
Interesting. Okay.
Did they give an indication as to why?
No. They were very... They refused to speak about any plans they might have with respect to the item.
The compass. It's to find your apprentice? Before or after you pay your debt to the Green Knight?
At the moment, it points us to the Green Chapel. And if we do not find the apprentice, then they've assured me that once the debt is paid, it will change course to find the apprentice.
Do you believe them?
Yes, because honestly, if the Mongoose Keeper wanted me out of the way, they could do it. They have no reason to lie to me.
That's fair.
Any further questions? All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull our season card for summer. And we each have to answer this question. You'll soon reach the borders of your ruler's lands. What will you miss the most about the kingdom you are leaving?
I'll miss the security of being landlocked.
I will miss the song of the snakes. They know everything. Well, they know everything about that place and its people. They are in harmony with our land. And listening to them provides not only help, but inspiration and comfort. And I will miss that.
I will miss home. I'm an old man now. I have spent my life here, and I have built for myself a reputation, a good life. I have the trust of the royal family, and I've been on voyages before, but never before have I felt so strong that I would not return.
I think I will miss the festivals, the dances that remind me of being under a constellation-laden sky, and the migration, the snakes that remind me of traveling roads and paths that lead away and to the kingdom, and remind me of purpose. When I turn my face away from the kingdom, I will be turning my face to all directions and not knowing what will come next.
And it'll be over to Mads to draw the first summer card.
Someone you care deeply about has a connection to one of your fellow travelers. Why are you keeping quiet about it? That's a tough one. I want to pass it along to Noctua. I would like to hear how you would answer this.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy! All right. So, because this involves another player, another player's character, if any of this makes you at all uncomfortable, let me know. We could take it back, retcon, whatever. But just heads up. I'm gonna say my character has a connection to Chloe. I'm dragging you into this.
Oh, yeah.
So my character has gained a high enough position to be trusted with a lot of the things that might be taboo. So some of the small things, but also some of the larger secrets. And perhaps one thing that's come up is that, well, Chloe's family has a closer connection to those snakes than she likes to admit. Or they like to admit. I don't know if you gave your character identifiers. But, and, well, it's not a thing that's talked about, and it certainly wouldn't do to admit to knowing it. But my character is aware that there might be something more happening in the background. But of course, it's not my secret to reveal. And until the time that Chloe's character is comfortable enough to say anything, I will keep my peace. And of course,
being accused of being a snake person. No comment.
If you don't like it, I could totally change it.
No, I'm super into it. It's good. Are you really holding this back out of the kindness of your heart and a respect for privacy? Or is it because you're waiting until you can get something out of it?
I'm not looking to get anything out of it. Someone in my position understands the value of discretion. So, at my time of life, there is no use extorting you. There is... the things that I want, I could not get from blackmailing you. There is no value to me in revealing this information before you are ready. So, no, I am actually holding my silence because it is the respectful thing to do.
How old are you?
Well, my character was adult enough to go on a quest in the previous monarch's lifetime. So this character is like 65 plus, kind of pushing it, and, well, our entire medical system is based on snake oil. So a warrior that old, maybe not in the prime of health.
She's just like, I have to ask.
No, it's a fair question. I feel like my character gets older with each card that's pulled.
Well, considering that age, is it quite possible that maybe there's a deeper connection than even you are willing to admit? Perhaps?
Ooh.
A relation of some sort? That Chloe's character is not aware of.
So I, as a player, I'm totally cool with this. If you are, then we'll run with it.
Down. Love it.
Okay. Yeah. I like that idea. So yes, this old weathered knight has perhaps a secret or two in his past. Right. Other questions?
I think there was something. I will tell you, there is something that I missed in what was spoken here, and perhaps I was looking away, and I didn't catch the deeper meaning of what was actually being said as to what the implied connection is.
So something potentially familial. Like, I'm interpreting this as my character would have been like sire or grandsire or something to someone in Chloe's character's family.
Okay.
A lot of that was implied.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. Good. There was something where it's when it was like the moment you started describing exactly what the thing was, I think I was doing a thing on the technical thing on this end where I was like, wait, is the sound balance good type deal? And so it just sort of, yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have no further questions.
All right.
Damn it, I have questions. Sorry. Sometimes it takes a second. Have you noticed anything familiar to you about Chloe's character that perhaps otherwise would not be. You would not have noticed had this potential connection not existed.
Oh, I will. No, because it is not Chloe's character. It is their spouse and their child.
There we go.
So that milk tooth that you've got around your neck and that necklace, it's one of those. Context.
Oh, that's good.
Right. I did have one question about rules because Mads passed me this card, so I've spent
Right.
a lot of time talking. So who's up next?
Up next would be Chloe. We just keep going.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. What dreadful truth about the kingdom was revealed during the Green Knight's visit? I'll go back to what was sort of implied before, that there's a less than generous, a less than philanthropic interest in propagating our snake oil. It's not so much about helping everyone in the world and healing the sick outside of our kingdom. It's about profit and about cutting, and like, not necessarily about cutting off stores of like knowledge being handed down from like surgeon to surgeon, whatever, but like a total lack of care for anyone who gets hurt by this. Partly because we're so used to it in our own kingdom that it just doesn't even register at this point. But yeah. It's not great.
Does that mean that other kingdoms have tried our curative and finding that it is less than effective?
They found it to be quite effective, just hard to obtain.
I take it the good stuff is really expensive.
Exactly.
Or we make it so.
Yeah.
Well, we do control the supply. And if this particular panacea cannot be procured anywhere else.
Exactly. Our king is very profit-minded.
Yeah. I think it's the king's, if I remember correctly, currently the king's, former king's daughter is ruling.
yes.
Is that right? We have a queen now?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes,
Our
there.
queen is very profit-minded.
Yes.
Feminism.
The kingdom is prospering.
Exactly. So it's fine. Girl bossing our way through Arthuriana.
Oh.
We are prospering and we are thriving. That's all that's
Live,
important.
laugh,
Oh.
love.
Oh no.
We are the inner circle.
Oh no.
We are the Ouroboros.
Has,
Great, Jim. Sorry.
well, no, because then a thing occurred to me. Because I just connected it up with something else.
Ooh.
Has our monarch, since taking power, had any different policies or use of the swarm?
At first, no. But lately, there's been one or two unusual decisions. It's nothing to worry about, right?
I'm sure it's fine.
Sure.
The kingdom needed to expand anyway, right? Is that right? Is that
Exactly.
what we're doing now?
Yeah.
Oh man, this kingdom. Well, of course we must share our prosperity
Yes.
with our neighbors. Surely we can't let them continue in a state of lack of snake oil.
Exactly. That would be cruel.
Yes. Yeah.
But we're not a charity, though.
No, no,
Oh,
God,
no.
Huh.
No.
We bring them the
Absolutely
Pax
not.
Serpentis.
Look, the snakes have a limited lifespan, and we have to make sure that there's still like a good breeding population of snakes. It costs money to take care of them.
And the snake oil has to remain fresh. It can go
Yes.
rancid or fermented or whatever in a few days, you know.
Sure, that's a specialty cocktail ingredient, but it's not gonna heal what ails you.
And of course, you must have the authentic product.
Yes.
None of the cheaper knockoffs will provide the effect you're looking for.
No.
Oh, and then you must have the correct vial,
Mhm.
like that for proper storage, and then you must have the matching pouch that goes with it to make sure
You're getting
that
it.
you're
Yeah.
you're getting it fresh. Fresh
Oh,
and
wow.
sealed.
Oh,
You're such a commercialized crass kingdom. It's wonderful.
oh, this is so good.
We're
It's so terrible and so good.
practical.
We have somehow reinvented the American healthcare system. This is not what I was expecting to do today,
No.
but you know, here we are.
No. Okay, stop.
It's fine. By the end of the game, we may have destroyed it.
Great.
Okay,
great.
so long as we topple it at the end, we're good.
Yes. Again, still thinking of the Ouroboros. Okay, we're gonna bring back to our own ruin. It's great.
The more I think, the more I realize the Green Knight had a point.
There's a reason he's wanting to give a slice out of us. It's great.
Yup.
It's awesome. We're great. We're great. We're part of the inner circle. Remember.
Yes, yes. Any further questions for Chloe?
Sorry, we tangented really hard.
Oh no,
No,
we're
I
good.
love
This is
it.
wonderful. This is so
It's
good.
great.
That's why this game is so good. Come on, let's keep going.
All right. I draw a card. Long ago, you and one of your fellow travelers pursued a common goal that was important to you. What was that goal? What was the goal? Okay. So first off, I'm going to ask for a volunteer. All right. So if Noctua and I had a common goal, and I think that there is, it's not exactly a hidden place, but a place within the kingdom, maybe fairly distant within it, but that I knew the way to, that we had to go. I wanted to recover. There were things about the way we were, the times, in earlier times, that I thought could be helpful. It could help us remain in harmony. I wanted to recover. There were some old songs that I thought might be recoverable by going to this place, these ruins, and so that I think that was the goal. It was going and finding them and recovering information and artifacts from that ruin.
I like it. Yeah. So, were we successful? Did we find what we were looking for?
I think one of us went away dissatisfied. I'm not sure which one. I think it would be more interesting if it was me.
Sure.
I think you got what you wanted. Whatever that may be. And I think when I went there, I think part of the problem was that I only saw, instead of a new song, I found a repetition. It seemed like more of the same, which was very disturbing to me. As though this has been a cycle that's been going on endlessly. Far longer than anyone now remembers. And that troubled me.
Okay.
I'm not sure what you got, but you got something.
I think my character had a much shorter term vision, and so inspecting those ruins, this old man, well, far younger when this happened, was looking for like specific signs of snake habitat to try and improve breeding methods. So he was here not as a historical or archaeological expedition, but more of a pragmatic, okay, how can we better utilize our resources and what can we learn from native nesting grounds to help us in our more commercial endeavors. So my character walked away having learned something, and the trip was a success.
Any further questions?
Did the cycle that you found indicate a path, an old path to our ruin?
It certainly did. I don't talk about what it led to. But
Right.
anyone who asks will note that whatever it was, it must not have been good.
Did your apprentice know this?
He did. I think he suspected. I didn't want to tell him. But the more I think about it, the more I think that he might have found my notes. He might have found... Actually, the way we store information, me specifically, not our culture, but me specifically, he might have heard it where I recorded is perhaps a strange word to use here, but where I recorded it.
Do you regret it?
Is it better to go blissfully not knowing, or to have certainty about something terrible? I used to think I was better off knowing. Now I'm not so sure. You good? All right. Good night.
Ooh, you have something of a rivalry with one of your traveling companions. How did it start? I know. I think, if this is okay with you, Chloe, I think it was with your character, because
Cool.
I think before we left, well, I mean, the signs of my one-sided rivalry were hopefully hidden, but who knows who might have even paid attention to me. But I think I was jealous of your ability to be so efficient and so honored among the inner circle of our swarm, I suppose, while having a family And I was jealous of that, because I was remembering what could have been if I had found my friend, hale and hearty and whole, at the end of my journey here. And I was jealous. So I threw myself into being the best at what I am, in hopes to drown out that happiness that I saw in you. So I didn't have to notice it anymore.
Can I tell?
Maybe a bit when we train. Maybe I lace my comments with barbs that are perhaps not quite so friendly. Maybe my sword strikes aren't with restraint. Maybe if you actually catch the look in my eye as I look upon you with envy, jealous that I know you can go home and you have your lover and your child. They have your back. Whereas I don't have anyone.
Why don't you have anyone? Is it an active choice or has it just sort of happened?
I placed so much purpose in chasing after my friend when it was time. He needed to get his travels out of the way, his nomadic spirit. And then he said he would settle down. And wherever he settled, that's where I would find him. And at the end of it, it seemed the Green Knight took that all away. Maybe it was by choice. Foolish as it was. Perhaps I could have opened up my choices, my heart, my purpose to others, someone else. But it wasn't until I saw that badge on the Green Knight's person and he made that taunt that it really hit home what I lost.
Have you chosen to grieve? Not for your friend, but for the choices you've made that denied you those other opportunities. You never moved on. And so some of those paths were closed to you. Did you ever manage to grieve for them?
No. I think I'm still in shock. That my North Star, my purpose was gone. And I didn't have time for regret until we started this journey.
I don't have anything to ask for this one. I'll just say Summer has one more question left. Do we want to take a break now, or do we want to wait until and do the remaining Summer question first?
Let's do
The last summer.
Yeah, let's
question.
Yeah.
finish that.
All right. That's Noctua.
All right, here we go. All right. What does the Green Knight seem to know about you that no one else does? So, I'm going to twist this question just a little. A lot of the secrets my character knows are told to him in confidence, and some of them are his lived experience, and some of them are from other people. They're not his to share. But way back when my character first met the Green Knight, they exchanged a level of candor between them that allowed him to unburden himself of some of those secrets. He was very careful about what he chose to reveal. He did have a goal. But there are some things that, well, about some of the history of our country and my personal role in those events that perhaps naively I revealed to someone who was not a friend. The subsequent 20, 30 years have taught me considerable more wisdom. But one, because it does ask for specific, one of those things would have been the, let's say, indiscretions he had with a certain young lady who perhaps he didn't have the courage to wed. Not at that time, anyway. Of course.
I'm just gonna ask the obvious question. Were you drunk?
Oh.
That you decided to tell someone not close to you or a friend these very personal, details.
When you're expecting a child and your entire country's medical system runs on snake oil, perhaps you want to talk to a doctor.
Fair enough. Been there.
So, no, not drunk at the time, but perhaps a little panicked and a little bit desperate.
Noise.
I love that so much.
Other questions?
I have one. Did the Green Knight offer you any help with that?
Mostly some advice to not panic. And a few more practical things about obstetrics that involved a lot of pacing and boiling water.
Fair enough.
But yes, there is nothing beyond that. And the Green Knight did not make a return. So, just some advice.
I've had a horrible thought that I cannot even give voice to now.
Oh dear.
I'm very glad that the Green Knight introduced some things like that to our society.
Yeah.
Oh boy. This society, man. We are building a society.
We've built yeah. Yeah.
And not on rock and roll.
Ow.
The prompt was the healer, and look what we've done! Look what we've done! I'm sorry, I have no further questions. Anybody else? Okay, then. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break so that we might do things, whatever we need to do. As I'm an old man, so I need to stand up every now and then, or else terrible things happen to my legs. So we're going to do that, and we will be back with the autumn. We'll see you soon. we have returned. And we shall now see we are entering autumn. So I'm going to go ahead and bring out the autumn season card so we can all answer that question. Your journey has carried you far from home. How do you behave among strangers in a strange land?
With great caution and relying more on my traveling companions than I did previously.
I think for me it takes a little time anytime we enter a place I have never been before to try to get in tune with the land, as it were. You basically will note that I've been playing a musical instrument of some kind, perhaps multiples. It's I'm gonna say it's a flute of some kind, so that we do not have to worry about lugging around inconveniently large cellos or inconveniently noisy bagpipes or things of that nature. Yeah, I think that it's just a question of finding the rhythm of the land for me, the rhythm of the earth in the different places. The earth specifically, I listen to the rocks quite a lot, which is weird, but it works for me for whatever reason. And so it's like the first few encounters I have with strangers are probably weird and awkward. And then it progressively I start doing better for no apparent reason. And all anyone has seen me do in between times is just stand out like on a rock playing a tune. That's it.
I think that I respond to that. I've always felt in my travels that I've always been the stranger in a strange land. But with traveling companions, it feels different somehow, whether because of familiarity or because of just, as Chloe's character has said, feeling better with people in being cautious. And I think I respond to your flute playing by moving, by enacting a dance or two. Maybe if we approach lands that have their own dances or their own movement patterns, maybe that is something that I take comfort in, and I will learn from them, and I can also try and teach what I know, and by that means having some kind of communal language, mutual language.
I think my character has been on a voyage before, but I think my character responds by being very formal in a way that comes across as being stilted and kind of awkward, like not knowing how much respect to use in a conversation with a stranger. So it comes across as a, wherefore goest thou? Kind of like, it sounds archaic, it sounds awkward. My character's trying way too hard. So in response to seeing the flute playing and the dancing and you guys building a camaraderie, I think this helps my character kind of relax a little bit and like, okay, you're way overcompensating. You don't need to, like, bring it back down. And I think that helps bring a really nice balance of I've swung way too hard one direction and you guys are going to recenter the group and make sure that we're all okay despite being, strangers and out of place.
Well, if we're good, then I believe Chloe is next to draw in.
Whose lands must you pass through to continue your journey? Why do you think this might distress one of your companions? If it's okay with Mads, I think we're passing through. You implied in an earlier question that you don't come from Snake Oil Kingdom, and I think we're passing through the lands that you're from. Possibly specifically right now, we're going through the lands of someone that you didn't like. You were very relieved to leave that land and get away from them. While I think that these surroundings are very beautiful, and I think it's honestly quite generous of this person to let us do a shortcut through their lands, I try to keep quiet about my appreciation because it seems to distress you.
I think it's because this person reminds me very much of my friend. I think it is his brother.
Oh.
And his brother never... Well, I shouldn't say that. He never said he didn't like me, but he never said that he appreciated having me around his brother. And my language, my body language, changes once we are on this person's land. It is less relaxed. It is more stiff, possibly aloof. Even when I have been at my most sarcastic, possibly. I think even you know that this quiet that I have, this not timidity, but just silence that I'm keeping, is not natural for me.
I have a question. Chloe. How long does it take us to pass through this land?
About a fortnight.
Oh.
This person's lands are vast, possibly made greater through a strategic marriage. Yeah, it takes a long time. Also, I think it's autumn and the weather is starting to turn. So it's just, every extra day that we spend here past what we expected, I at least am treating Mads' character with kid gloves.
So this question is mostly for Mads, but feel free to add on. Does this brother know all the details of what happened to your friend?
No. He was dismissive. He didn't appreciate his brother's nomadic spirit or his wandering feet. He felt that he should be here, tending the lands just as he did, and being responsible. And didn't understand that. Just adventurous spirit, I suppose. And so he also did not appreciate that in me. And why would he? Why would he know what happened to his brother when it took the power of the charm I had made to even be able to find him and trace his steps to the kingdom of snakes. And his own brother, well, I don't think I had said anything about the conversation that we had had one night when he managed to get me away from you all. And the less I say about that, the better.
Sorry, one more detail. Your friend, was he the elder, or was his brother, like, of the two, who was the firstborn?
No, this one was the elder. This one was the responsible one. The one who decided to stay and care for his family, his parents, the land.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have one more question for Chloe. Now, did any of us notice when Med snuck away to do that?
I think we all did, and none of us wanted to acknowledge it.
I have no further
just add a detail to that.
Yeah?
I think you you all noticed when I came back. And you could see in my face that I could not talk about it. I would not talk about it. And I went to the little mound or the stone where Jim's character had gone to play the flute, and you saw me dance some kind of dance that changed the lines of my body in the moonlight because I was so angry.
Any further questions? All right. For some time, the land you now travel through has had a terrible hold upon your soul. What have you left undone here? There is a part of me that wants to pass this question to Mads, but I feel as though we've already gotten... Yeah, I don't want to... we've already gotten a lot. We've already gotten a lot, so... For some time, the land you travel hold... Hey, you know what? We just talked about this. I'm going to use a touchstone card to see if this tells us anything. The flame. Oh dear. Okay, hang on. So here's the thing. The Mongoose Keeper and I have talked about this land before. And some of it has to go. There is something that they told me was corrupt about this place, lurking in some of its woods, defying nature, and they want me to... They have said that on this occasion, this is one of those occasions on which it's perfectly fine to start a fire. There are very few of those, but they do exist. There's a certain amount of deforestation that's a thing. When it's not being, things are not being pruned back. I could do it. I wouldn't even have to physically start a fire to make it happen. I just have to change a few notes. I have not done it.
Why not?
I think I am afraid to. I think that... Look, here's the thing about the Mongoose Keeper. You never know. You never know what aim they're working towards. They are playing like they're playing 13-dimensional chess. And the infuriating thing is they're almost always right. But yet they find ways to take these opportunities to do other things that you did not know about. Things you did not realize happen. You set things in motion, and it is terrifying sometimes to see the results. Or to hear the results. And so this was one of those things. This was one of those things. It was not part of our bargain. It was brought to me as something of a moral imperative. Because they knew this was something I could not ignore entirely. I'd have to think about it. They knew I would think about it. They knew it would trouble me. And it does.
Do you feel used? Like not within control? That you are merely a puppet?
You know, that's the problem, you see, with these kinds of things, doing what I do. Sometimes you play the song, and sometimes the song plays you.
Now, have you told any of your companions about this?
I feel like it's one of those things that I'm just holding on to it as long as I can until it erupts at a horribly inopportune moment. It's one of those things that it's a terrible burden, and it sounds awful. Can you imagine telling someone, I've got to go burn down that forest now? Because there's something in there that apparently none of us on this planet were meant to know about. And so, but I mean, how do you say nothing? Especially if you do it, right?
I think maybe you don't say nothing. You actually indicate it by the change in your songs and the change of your tune, your notes. There's discordancy there, even though it sounds like everything is in its right place and right rhythm.
As though there's a specific thing I'm avoiding.
Yes,
As though there's
because
a specific thing I'm
I
trying
feel
not to play.
right. I think my character can feel it because she's been dancing to your tunes like for the
Yes.
past travels, and she'll know when you're out of pattern, when your rhythm is off.
Mm.
And then she will go to you and ask specifically, Songweaver, why does this feel wrong? Why aren't you playing all of the notes that you know belong in this song? My steps are off. My patterns are uneven.
I think I play it off for a little while as though it's like, oh, well, just sometimes it's just trying things. And then I think after a while,
What if my character ends up filling in the gaps that you refuse to fill? And you hear the stomps and the claps like filling in for those notes.
yeah.
What do you do then?
So it comes a time when I'm like, there's going to come a time when I'm like, stop. Just stop it completely. And I will just explain, you don't want to know.
I don't want to know, or
It's not really an
I
explanation, but yeah.
or I shouldn't do. There's obviously a reason why you're not completing. That's what it is. There are holes. It is unfinished.
You want to go in there and see what's... No, you don't. No, don't. Forget I said that.
We
No
are...
one should know why things are sometimes. There are things we aren't supposed to see.
Some would say we are heading towards our doom now.
Yeah, well, we have an obligation to fulfill there. We don't have that here.
So you propose to leave it alone, leave something undone. Or are we part of an unmaking?
I'd say a tragedy will befall this place either way. If we do nothing, a tragedy will befall this place. Eventually. If we finish the song, a tragedy will befall this place much sooner. This is what I'm struggling with.
So if we leave it alone, the burden remains with you, because you know.
Yes.
But if you do something
No
about
one else
it,
should have this problem.
but if you do something about it, then you absolve yourself. Because you have done it. You have completed a task.
No. Well, there's... I think it's really more of a question of pick which absolution you're looking for.
Which do you choose? Which do you feed?
Tell me, do you like this place?
Out of character, are we still in my...
I don't know. I don't know where we are.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like it would be interesting if we were.
I think, at that... I think she would have a very wicked smile on her face, or a wicked smile growing on her face when she realizes, well, this is upon a disliked personality's land. would there be harm coming to him and his family?
I couldn't say. I don't know. Maybe. They'll certainly be challenged. It'll depend on how he reacts.
Or I be the one to tell him? And we see.
If this goes
If-
wrong and you tell him, then that is going to be a terrible burden that you're going to be placing on him.
Only if he believes me, which, whether he does or does not, is on him.
You're not going to let this go, are you?
I don't like to see a song unfinished. I don't like to see a dance undone.
And if you
What would
like
it
to-
take for you to have me let it go? What would you have me do?
All right. All right. All right. Here's the thing. If you want this burden, as you seem to be inextricably entwined in the threads that are being woven here, you would need to come with me to the edge of that forest. If we do this, we must never speak of what we see, if we see anything. Can you agree to that?
I can. I will.
All right, then. Communicate what you will. We'll be out of these lands soon. But before we go, before we reach the edge, we will finish the song.
You think I will
Yeah.
go to that person? I will say what might be there, what will happen, and it's up to him whether he will accept what will happen and flee with his family to make sure that they will be safe.
I have to wonder if I told you what's going to happen or not.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna, like, you know, have you told me what you've done with the song, like what the song will do?
That's
the
an
completed
interesting
song will do?
question, right? Because it's like a question of like whether I say, no, there's going to be a fire. Or if I've not told you that. And just that something terrible is coming.
Yeah.
But that perhaps might go beyond the scope of things, even though I'd say that yeah, we can say that if you think that you've told them that there's we want to tell them that there's a fire coming, we can probably go there.
Yeah.
But we can't really explain why. The thing
No.
is, it needs to be something where they're not going to stop us.
Right. Right.
So it's one of those things where like, terrible omen, something you got to keep it vague.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Vague enough that we have plausible deniability. So I think that that's going to be a thing that happens
Mhm.
at some point during this journey, perhaps immediately, perhaps I don't know. How much longer is autumn? I'm not sure. Does anyone have any further questions for me?
Sorry for that tangent, folks.
Great.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
Oh, I
But
love that bit.
yeah.
That was so good.
Are you okay with sort of leaving things at that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'd be good leaving it. But are there any other questions that anyone needs to ask?
Kind of vague. But did the mongoose keeper intimate to you exactly what kind of existential threat was lurking here?
Mostly just that it was something that should not. And that is not, that if allowed to stay there and fester will infect the balance of things to a very wide degree.
And there were no other options beyond to kill it with fire. It could not be contained, restrained, delayed. The only
Oh.
solution offered you was to raze it to the ground.
Yeah, the implication was that this, whatever this is, needs it.
All right. Very out of character. I'm wondering what's making the mongoose keeper the authority on this topic.
That's a great question, isn't it? You know how the snakes and the balance of the snakes is a metaphor? This too is a metaphor.
I consider like the mongoose keeper like some sort of oracle or something like that. That's just kind of like sending them out to do shit, and exacting a prize.
They have this cool twisted hut in the woods. That's really all I need to know.
There you go.
They delight in being cryptic about things.
Yeah.
I had a mechanics question.
Oh, yeah.
What is the current order? Because I'm not sure if we're still in order.
Yes. So right now I'm the person answering the question. Next it'll go to Mads, then to you, then to Chloe, then back to me.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure. Are we good?
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So it's over to Mads.
What animal has been watching you and why is it making you suspicious? For funsies, I'm going to pull out a touchstone card. Oh my. That's not a help. I'm going to pull out another one. But if anybody wants to use that later, that's fine. Ooh. Okay.
A hammerhead shark has been following. Sorry.
What animal? I think as we've been going along after we leave those particular lands, I think there's been maybe a crow or two that have been following. Not sure if it is two or more, but I just know that when I look up, or even before I look up, I can hear that cawing, croaking, and then I look up and I see it. And then it alights on a branch nearby and will look and watch and follow as we pass. And legends from my people have always been that they are the gatekeepers. They are the ones who mark when you pass a threshold into another place, another realm. And one wonders, or at least I do, if this means we have passed through into another place as we near closer to the Green Knights' territory. I think
Crossover. Oh, no.
I just want to just make a mention that
Yeah.
I think I will make a mention of this to you all.
Mm.
And I don't know how, like, you know, what your characters think of me after all this time. But I mean, like, I think I will mention the story, the legend of my people, and say that I think we've passed into someplace else.
Have crows ever followed you before like this?
No. Which is why it's suspicious to me. But, I mean, I think I've seen them from afar. But usually, if there's some sort of, you know, clutch of dead animals, perhaps, that have been, like, in the distance or something. But aside from that, I mean, like, nothing like this where it feels like this bird or a couple of birds are following specifically or leading the way. Who knows? It's just odd.
I'm actually going to redirect this question to Jim a little bit, because your character is very in tune with the environs around us, and you express that through your song. Has your song changed in this putative new environment? Is there a difference? Oh, sorry, can you feel a difference?
So, there's a twofold answer to this question. The basic answer is yes, every place is different. For the second answer, the second portion of this requires me to ask Mads a question. And I'm just curious to know, does anything about the timing line up between the sudden glow on the horizon behind us of a forest catching fire? Does the timing at all line up with the crow's appearance there, or is it, or is there enough distance between those two events that this is probably a separate thing?
Oh man, that's a very good question. Whoa. I choose to believe it's a separate thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say the song is probably, it seems a little more somber, but that aside, it's that could be me, or that could be just the land. We don't know. I have no further questions for Matt.
Was it me?
Mm-hmm.
After much time has been spent on this journey, what secret do you reveal to one of your companions? Okay, I guess it is time for drama, if y'all are cool with that. Okay. So yeah, I think perhaps one night as we make our camp, I'm going to ask Chloe's character to step aside with me for a moment. Some gravitas, as if I have something very important to discuss.
All right.
And I guess I will say, this old man is very awkward for a little bit. He does all like the body language awkwardness of like fiddling with the shirt and like staring at his shoes. Um, but in the end, he just sees the I think it's a necklace with the milk tooth in it for your child. He looks at it and just kind of looks up at you and goes, "Your child, what's their name?"
Alice? Why?
And you see like a big smile on his face. Uh, I hope they're keeping well. And then the smile drops as he goes, oh, wait. And your spouse, what is he called?
We aren't married.
Oh, your partner. My apologies.
Bridget.
Just looks up. I never knew.
You
Yes.
haven't asked.
No. I gave up that right long ago. I don't know how much your partner has told you about their family, but I have reason to believe I may have been the father she never knew.
Why? What reasons?
I didn't think this far ahead, but
Insert reason here.
insert backstory
Yeah.
of like convenient timing and the like knowing the mom and like having been sent on a journey while the mom was pregnant and like coming home to the now single mom and the kid who wanted nothing to do with him.
So bad.
And they're just like, you know what? You've caused enough harm. Stay away. And this poor old man spent so long being very heartbroken about it, but in the end just respected that decision. And so never knew his family, but you know, he's lived his life, and now when he doesn't think the consequences will matter for very much longer, felt it was time to tell the truth.
Why wouldn't you seek them out?
I did.
It's been years, decades.
I did. I tried. They wanted nothing to do with me. So, after years, I stopped trying.
Bridget has been a woman grown who can make her own decisions for a long time now, and you never came back?
No. And it is a regret, one of many, but certainly the one that gnaws at me the most. In my mind, Bridget was always the child, the infant, that I never knew.
And now you burden me with your regrets. What do you expect me to do about this?
Nothing. Keep it, do with it what you will. Tell her or don't.
If we die, then You're a fool.
Of course. Why else would I be on this journey?
Did you ever have other children?
No. I never let myself get that close to anyone. Not after I lost them.
To think about this. I need to think about what to do.
Of course.
We'll walk away.
The poor old man just kind of sits down on the floor, back to a tree, just stares into space for a bit.
We're both just staring into space on different sides of this forest, like.
And mine and Jim's character probably like singing and dancing in the opposite corner. Trying to give each other good cheer. Oh,
Like, guys, now is not the time.
Yeah.
we don't notice your angst. Oh my god. we don't notice you two like went to opposite corners.
I will say that the only further questions that I have about this are ones that I think can only be resolved through the as we discover what happens at the end.
Oh, heartbroken. Damn.
You did ask for heartbreak, so
Yeah, no, I asked for it. Mine was my wish. I mean, oh my god, I got it. All right.
Are there
Good. It's good stuff.
any further questions for this? For Noctua?
No. Alright.
Over to Chloe.
Right. One evening, someone offers you and your companion shelter in their home. What troubles you about staying with them? I think it's that they have snakes kept as pets, trapped behind glass. Like they're in enclosures, and that's not right. It is viscerally upsetting to me, and I think I at least sleep outside that night because I can't stand to be around them.
How strong is the temptation to free the snakes?
So strong, so strong. I really consider it. Maybe I do it. I'm not sure. No, you know what? I will. In the early hours of the morning, I'll sneak into the house and I'll free them all as quietly as I can.
Amazing. Amazing.
now, are they snakes of a similar kind as what we have in Snake Kingdom? Like, do you recognize this kind of snake?
I think some are, but a lot of them just seem to be like random snakes that you can find out in the woods. Like, it seems almost like an accident that they have any of the snakes from our sningdom.
Strange coppery texture. No.
What is the reason that they've given for collecting? I mean, that's basically what it is. We're not even talking pets here. We're like in a class. We're talking collection.
My special collection.
Yeah, you exactly. That's probably how they present it. It's like, you know what?
I mean, I think their reasoning is just that they think like they're pretty and they like to watch them move around. Like it's kind of hypnotic, which is like even more anathema to us because we're like, yeah, they are pretty. We also like to watch them move around, just not in cages.
Free, damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, even me, who is a foreigner in Sningdom. I mean, like, you know, even I know that, like, oh my, that no, you don't do that. You don't do that to the snakes.
You
don't put snakes in a box. You know.
You just don't.
No.
Not okay.
Amazing.
I guess I have a follow-up question. Do any of the snakes then take their revenge?
No, I think I'm very careful to ensure that they just leave. Mostly so that it's easier to just pretend that something happened in the night. They just escaped. It's not our fault. Nevertheless, we must leave quickly.
But what about breakfast?
Yeah.
We'll forage. It's fine.
We have rations.
It's all good.
Any further questions? Okay, we are at the end of autumn, and so we have the we are entering winter. And before I draw the final season card, I just want to check in with everyone for a second. We are close. We are at 10. So I just want to check: are we good to keep going, or do we need to expedite things?
I'm good.
I have time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The final season card that we all answer. The world grows stranger the closer you draw to your destination. What dreams plague you in these eldritch lands? Dreams of fire plague me. Dreams of the world burning and and the fires eventually reaching my apprentice standing at the center of the flames.
I see.
Oh. No, you
Go
go.
for it. Okay, I'm doing it. So, I think I see the downfall of our sningdom. This poor snake kingdom that we have. My now very elderly character has spent a lifetime working to support, protect, and he has seen this kingdom flourish and prosper, and he has had no small hand in doing that. And he dreams of it all crumbling around him, as he knows that there are certain truths about this kingdom that are, well, decidedly less true than the kingdom would like to believe. And when you build your kingdom on such a flimsy foundation, well, gravity catches up to you eventually.
Ominous. I think I dream repeatedly of two things, often intertwined, sometimes separate dreams. The first is my lover and our child back home. And the second is the escaped snakes. But also just snakes in general. There's just this constant sort of almost glittering overlay to the quality of a lot of my dreams, sort of like scales moving, twisting, changing shape, growing wider, opening their mouths, and it's it's troubling, like partly because like the imagery is a little bit alarming because there's always this undercurrent of tension, including when I dream about my family. But it's also, it feels like I'm drawing closer to something that I'm not ready to draw closer to.
I think I dream of seeing things through my friend's eyes. And the only reason I know that it's him is because I remember the tunic he wore, very special, that I had hand embroidered an edging to it that had the compass rose pattern inscribed within it. And I could see his arms with the embroidery along his sleeves as he's reaching out, and he seems to be going towards something that looks like a mountain that is glowing from within, as if it's about ready to burst forth in fire. But then the mountain moves sinuously up and out and then back to him, showing its mouth as the flames start to lick the edges. And then I realize that he's staring into the mouth of a gigantic snake that seems to be spewing out this flame. And then he walks into it, and it becomes black with soot and ash and darkness and heat. And I can feel him burn. And then he somehow comes out into the cool air and then sees the Green Knight. And he issues a challenge to the Green Knight to let him pass. And the Green Knight says he must fight. And they make some sort of agreement that even in dreams it doesn't make any sense. He accepts the challenge, but he doesn't lose his life. He doesn't get the offer to come back in a year. He just crumbles with his compass rose in the Green Knight's hand. And that's the last thing I see in my dream before I wake up, cold, as if the fire had been snuffed out.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. We're entering winter. It is my turn to draw a card. What is the most unsettling rumor you've heard about the Green Chapel?
That
I think.
it's underlay.
Well, alas, I must answer the question.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
but-
I thought it was the seasonal thing.
No. That was the.
Sorry.
Yeah, we just answered that.
You're right.
But
I'm out of it.
I mean, that's good though. I think that the most unsettling rumor that I've heard about the Green Chapel, is actually, let me go ahead and draw one of these just in case. Ah, okay. The vessel. I think that most unsettling rumor that I've heard about the Green Chapel is that it contains something that has been trying to get out for a considerable amount of time. And the Green Knight guards that.
What have you heard that it is?
Well, the rumors aren't that specific. But so it's been all manner of things. Depends on how the it just depends on how the teller wants to tell it. So there have been rumors of things like dragons. There have been rumors of things like an ancient eldritch spirit. There have been rumors that it's there's been rumors that it's like some sort of that it's like the world snakes underneath the chapel, and that once released, everything will shift. Those are the sorts of rumors that I've heard about.
Is there any indication that this might be related to the thing that the Mongoose Keeper wants you to take from the Green Knight?
The Mongoose Keeper was characteristically cryptic about the whole thing. I expect that... But, so asked in a very... They didn't ask me to take a specific thing. Just something that belongs to the Green Knight. I suspect that they might know more about what's in there, though, than anyone else. So, perhaps.
Now, was it the Mongoose Keeper who revealed to you this rumor, or one of its iterations?
No. But I think that the Mongoose Keeper had an unsettlingly high level of knowledge about the rumors, it seemed. As though they were able to keep track of all the threads of everyone who'd said anything about it.
Right now, this Mongoose Keeper is creeping me out a whole lot more than the Green Knight.
If they're one and the same.
Maybe.
Or one of those antagonists that's just keeping track of their enemy, you know? Keeping their friends close, but their enemies closer. I have no question.
Oh, any further questions for me? If not, we move on to Mads.
Ooh. Which of your companions have you become more worried about as you come closer to the Green Chapel? Ooh. I think I've been worried more about your character, Jim. Because these portents, these things that you have said should not be seen, should not be discussed, and then the fire back in those lands seems to weigh heavier on you. And as we enter this very surreal place, I think it's it may be increasing your burden, your internal burden, more than anybody can suspect, because I feel weight, and I can't put my finger on it. I don't know where it's coming from. And I think your songs have changed. They are no longer... They are finished, but there's something very odd about them.
Are they more? Are they now all sad songs that you're hearing?
Resigned. Not sad, but resigned. As if you were trying to bolster yourself up just to accept whatever fate they may be.
Question for Mads on this. Is there something you do to try and alleviate what you perceive in Jim? Like that sudden heaviness?
Try to shake it off. Try to stomp it off, clap it away. Try to make movements to energize or engage or something to try to pep up the rhythm or just something. There's ways to change like a minor keyed music to something a little bit more upbeat. And maybe that's what I try to do. I try to create a beat as a prompt for livening things up. And it's like coming up against a wall.
I imagine that every time I seem to start coming around, one of those crows, like, immediately will speak up and he's like, ah! And immediately throw the whole rhythm off and put me back where I was. If you think that works.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, more of the gatekeepers. And each time that happens, I will say that the gatekeepers are back.
I want to interject one comment. It's not a question, but just sort of vibes for the party as a whole. As we descend farther into winter, days get shorter. This far north, the climate gets cold. We probably start to see snow. All the animals that we've been seeing and hearing in the woods around us have either flown south for the winter, have gone into hibernation. There is far less life all around us. And I think that's contributing to the, not just everything being somber and resigned, but it is far harder to celebrate the joy and the life around you when the only life you can perceive is the omen of a crow hanging over your shoulder.
Nice.
Just there.
Vibes.
Oh, sorry, was it me? Were there any more questions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I keep losing track, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Winter is upon
we're
us.
lost
Winter
in,
is
like,
upon
timeless
us.
landscape as our
No.
characters are. It's fine.
Oh boy, okay. What strange occurrence separates you from your companions? And how are you reunited with them? Oh,
I have an idea for this, but I mean, I don't want to step on your creativity.
I'll pass it to you if you want it.
No. I mean, I have something that you might see.
Oh, go for it. I'd love to hear it.
I think you see Bridget and her daughter.
No, I was right there. I was going for the same thing. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
And so sad.
Yeah, it's one of those moments when the all-encompassing feeling of regret causes like what would this old man want to see most in the world, like once more before he is convinced he's going to die? It would be Bridget and Alice. And so he is probably led away. He doesn't realize that he's strayed from the rest of the group. He doesn't realize that he's off path, but he follows his perception of them. I imagine it as Bridget is always like 60 feet ahead, like far enough that he never quite catches up to her, and she's holding the little vision of Alice like in her arms, like, you know, way you carry a child. And every so often he thinks he sees her look over her shoulder, like look back at him, and then stares the other way and just keeps going. And he follows them for a solid like 15 minutes, just always like hand outstretched, like, please don't leave. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have been there. Muttering regrets into the wind. And I think he hears one of the crows, just this odd caw right above him. And he turns to looks back down, Bridget's gone. And I think he just like hand on a tree and stops for a minute and just like, probably cries. And eventually he can follow the sound of those crows back to the party.
You tell any of us what you saw?
I can tell you what I think we see. I think we see your whatever you have trying to protect you from the cold. I think it's like rimmed with frost. I think your face is pale and gaunt. I mean, you're an old man, but I mean, like, just in the way of like somebody who has seen something that has given him hope and then realizing he's lost it. And just the eyes, the bags and the darkness, the shadows in and under his eyes, and then just exhaustion. Yeah, I think that's what we see.
I think, Chloe, if your character asks, I think he will say, just an old man's follies. Regrets of a life poorly lived.
Understanding what you mean, I give you a look, but I don't press the subject in front of the others.
He kind of looks up with you with like a vulnerability in his eyes, in the like, I don't want to bring you any more pain than I already have, so I don't want to go any further. But yes. But it's one of those, like, I've already made this mistake once. I'm not going to do it again.
Poor old man.
So good. Everyone else actually asked anything I wanted to ask, So I'm good.
All right.
Whoa.
Yeah. We're good. Then it's to Chloe.
Yeah.
What remnant of the distant past do you come across as you journey closer to the Green Chapel? A shed snakeskin the size of a person. And I'll throw in the addition that none of you would realize that it is part of my distant past.
Sorry.
Backstory? Backstory?
You're gonna have to ask me questions for it.
Hold back. When was the last time you've seen this? In your past.
Time is so strange here that it's hard to say. It feels like lifetimes ago, but it might only have been 30 years.
Amazing. Wait, whose skin is it?
How is it here? How did a creature of this size end up here to leave this?
You know, they say that in the olden times, animals the size of men walked the earth, if not bigger. Is it so unbelievable that snakes might have been bigger then too?
It is not unreasonable. The serpent who was around the tree of knowledge could have been as large as a human.
Bigger still.
Bigger still.
I have a strange question for you. Are the teeth behaving any differently at this point?
They're not behaving differently, but this, you notice, if you look closely, they're the same color as the shed snakeskin.
And
How
what
the hell long
color
have we been
is
traveling?
that? Sorry to reiterate. What color is that? The shed snakeskin and the teeth.
I think like a very like creamy off-white, like it's a bit like yellowed lace.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you try to touch the snake skin? Like, do you try to take a piece of it or take all of it?
I do. I touch it. I touch it almost like wonderingly, a little reverently even, and I break off a small piece, and later, when none of you are looking, I eat it.
Fine.
That's awesome. I love that so much. Oh my God.
Damn. Damn.
Questions?
Nope. Nope. I'm good. Ah, well. All right. Here we are. You have arrived at the Green Chapel, Upon entering, each of you finds yourself alone, your companions nowhere in sight. The Green Knight steps forth and stands before you, axe at the ready. Do you allow them to strike? And we all answer this question. I think that I do, but I ask, is Nod here first? And the Green Knight tells me yes. And I ask if I can see him before Green Knight lands their blow. And they reply, you can see him after. And actually, I was going to elaborate, but I think I'm going to just leave it at that.
I kneel before the Green Knight very calmly and lower my head and wait for them to strike. The necklace swings from around my neck. A tear rolls down my cheek.
I stand to face the knight. I draw my sword and plant it tip first in the ground. Just stand there. I stare up at the knight, like standing upright, and look at the knight and say, I have owed you so much more than just this for far too long. My debt is due. And he faces his end.
I think my character will also take their sword and ground its point between them, but asks, before you swing that axe to strike me, can you tell me if it is because of the debt I owe, or because this is on my friend's behalf, whose badge you wear? And she will lower her eyes to the sword, awaiting the blow.
Thank you for playing 1 year hence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh my god!
Oh,
This was so much fun!
this is so
crap!
Oh,
This was great. Wow.
This was intense. Thank you so much, Jim. My God, this is so good.
this went so many places I did not see it going.
That was good. That was so good. As you all talked about these things, you all painted the picture. I could see it. I could see everything that was happening. This was wonderful. Did we want to show? We were talking about possibly showing what cards we drew. At the beginning. Do we want to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about that?
sure.
Yeah.
Do it.
I can show mine. Hold on. Mine was the compass rose. That's why I had to look up because I didn't understand a damn thing about it. So volcano. Those are mine.
Ah.
Mine were the water and the tomb, which doesn't want. There we go.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Very
context.
ominous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Y'all, I don't know how to work Roll20. How do I make it reveal?
You click on the
click
two, the
and then
card.
drag the cards.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had the sword and the voyage.
Oh,
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
and the
Very
sad
cool.
elderly man.
I had the lyre
Mm.
and the
Ooh.
rock.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
I came up with what I had.
nice. It's great. Oh, I mean, everything was just
this
so
is
good.
fun. I feel like
Uh,
I'm already like, I want to play it again.
I know. I want to play this online. I want to play this in person. Oh my gosh.
thank you.
The prompts are really evocative. I really
Yes.
liked them.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you all for playing along,
Yes.
especially as
Yeah,
just
oh my
Oh,
God.
so good.
going.
That was so good.
Doing actual scenes is like the one main quibble that I have with For the Queen and its style of games is that they're not super well set up, in my opinion, to like sort of naturally prompt scenes. So I was really glad whenever we fell into it because I know it makes the game go longer, but it's also really fun.
It's so much fun.
So much fun.
Everybody did such a great job. I will say from just a kind of like maybe a design thing, just to kind of make a distinction. If somehow for the season cards, Jim, you want to add everyone answers this, and then a design of some sort, like some kind of visual marker to show that this is something that everybody answers, so this way we
Ooh,
don't get it mixed
yeah.
up with the actual individual prompt cards.
Yeah. Yeah, I could
You
see
know?
Good
that.
idea.
Yeah. Because I know,
Because
yeah,
then
just,
it's like, yeah,
like
'cause
it
it's just like,
says it in
again,
the
it's like a nice
instructions, but
marker.
at the same time, it's it'd be good to have like another visual
Yeah.
because like it's supposed to be, yeah, because it's like the end card in that way. So we could easily, probably just come up with an
like
image
a
to,
rim, like some kind of like border, because then it makes a distinction between
Yeah.
that and the
Yeah.
picture that shows here's the Green Chapel. Okay, that's the ending. So I mean,
Yeah.
at least if it's everyone answers this prompt, and then some kind of seasonal border, like leaves for the autumn or spring flowers, and then
Yeah.
summer. I don't know what the hell for summer. And then winter snowflakes, I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean? Like just something to kind of give a visual like, hey, this is something that we all pitch in on.
Cool. Well, changing
Yeah.
the colors on the icons would be simple. Insert random numbers in chat is saying. Which I guess the icons just the seasonal cards, that kind of thing, maybe. Yeah. I see what you're saying. I think. Yeah, I'll take a look at it and just summer growing rain. Oh yeah. Grain. Grain or rain. Yeah, grain.
That's great. That's great. Or
well,
sun, like some kind of like sun marker or
Sunbeams.
something like that.
I'll-
Yeah.
I'll put some thought into it. I'll see kind of where I land with that. But yeah.
But I mean, other
mhm.
than that, though, I mean, as Chloe said, I mean, just so evocative, just so rich in creativity. Like it just inspires people to come up with stuff. And then if we don't even come up with stuff like from the prompts, so you got the touchstone cards, like visuals.
That is such a good mechanic, like
Yes.
such a good design innovation. I think more games like this should have more people should pull from this, is what I'm saying. 'Cause, yeah. And I love the idea of like pulling from it to help define your characters too. Because like we all did such fun things with the cards that we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked the questioning. Like so you've answered the prompt and now it's open to questions from other people, because that really helps grow the story. And yeah, we went so many different directions in that stage of play. So That was delightful.
Everybody called back on something that somebody else said. The crows, the milk teeth, oh God, brain, sorry. No, I know we each called on something from somebody else, and it was such a great melding and collaboration and weaving through of story. It was beautiful. Yeah. So, and that was even coming from some of the questions that people asked outside of the prompt. So that was really cool.
Yeah. I loved how that went and how everybody interacted with that. That was very cool. Thank you all very much for playing. I think
thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this was so good. This is so good. This, as previously stated, this is the streaming premiere of this game. This game is close to ready. I want to try to get this out soon. In some form or another. I'm looking into different way. I'm reaching that stage where I'm starting to look into that and sort of figure out kind of where and how I'm going to put it out. I'm already working on the formatting to make it so that it can be print on demand. And so I'm just going to kind of go there, and they're like at least like 3 different places I kind of want to publish it, possibly more depending on how it goes. And so both I want to do it as like for online play as well as for folks to get a physical deck if they want it.
Please do.
So hopefully this will look to my various social meteors if you want to see when this comes out, because I'm hoping I can do that very soon. But in the meantime, let us come to the end here. We're gonna go ahead and go around and do our outros, and feel free to tell everybody, if you like, you tell them where they can find you. Feel free to plug anything you like, and give any final thoughts you might have about this whole thing. If there's anything else, doesn't have to be anything else, but if there is, we're gonna go in the reverse order from the way we started, which means that we will start with Chloe.
Yeah. Again, I'm Chloe. You can find my game design work at smallstories.io or smallstories.itch.io, where I mostly just make pen to good society things, but also other stuff like horror games about people in lighthouses and summer camp. And you can also catch me on Flights of Fandom from Monopod Studios. In January, I will be running a Mean Girls Monster Hearts game on Tuesdays. I'm very excited for. So yeah, and you can find me at Chloe Sobler at Small Stories Games on various social medias. I have a tweet inadvertently going viral right now, so if you're on Twitter, it's possible you'll see me. I'm tired.
So good, so good. I'm sorry. Was there anything else you?
No, I'm done.
Awesome. No, and I just have to say that the Monster Hearts Mean Girls combination sounds wonderful. And Good Society is an excellent game. I have never actually played it, but I've seen it played quite a bit, so it's very cool. So definitely, folks, go and check that out. And now we will head over to Noctua.
Hi y'all, I'm Noctua. This was my first Twitch stream ever, so I don't exist on the internet. You can reach me at Noctua Magda at Blue Sky. So if you liked me, come tell me that I did a good job so you give me enough courage to do more of these. Pretty please and thank you.
You must, you're so good. You're so good. You
Yes.
are so good at this. This is so wonderful. And was there anything else?
Nope, that's all I got.
Thank you so much for coming. This was wonderful, and I'm very honored to have you for your, on here as your first Twitch stream. Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. And finally, over to Mads.
Hi, I'm Mads, she, they, and I'm found on Discord, Twitter, YouTube, Blue Sky as Madeline Colley. I do, again, as I said, I play a lot of games, like running several different campaigns in the Between, Apocalypse Keys, and Brindlewood Bay right now. Hopefully I'll be able to push all that out onto my channel sometime in the new year. Just got to figure out how to make intros. It'd be great. And then, just come check out my stuff. Hopefully I'll get a chance to play games with you all very soon, for something in the near future. That Mean Girls Monster Hearts game sounds awesome, but my bi-weekly Tuesdays are taken up by Brindlewood Bay at the moment. So, hopefully I'll be able to join you all for games very, very soon. So, I think that covered it. Thank you.
Awesome.
And this game was amazing. It took the For the Queen mechanics that I'm familiar with, and then really took it up to a nice new level. All the different additions with the seasons, kind of like milestones or checkpoints, basically, to get you further and further into the game. And it just got so much more intense in a good way as we went along. And then the addition of the touchstones to help inspire us was just a great addition to this game as a mechanic. And the prompts were just beautiful. And then also, this is a simple one, but it's a very important shout out. Thank you very much for explaining how it works if you decide to pass a card. If you decide to pass a card,
Yeah.
and it goes to the next person after that particular person answers the prompt. That's great. That's not quite explained in For the Queen. So, yay! We got an explanation. This is how it goes. Keep moving. So.
And I will confess, I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but I know it's done.
But it was a way.
It doesn't matter if it's right. It's right for this game
It
now.
worked.
It worked.
It was
and
clear and it worked.
Yes, clear and it worked. Exactly. So I love it. Thank you so much.
It's just basically the way that I prefer to do it when I do these things. So I just figured, nail it down. Go ahead and do that.
Nail it. It's your game.
I suppose so. Thank you all so much. Again, this was wonderful. That leaves me. Once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on Twitch, YouTube, and most social media platforms. Where I'm not OtherDoc, I'm Jim Yes That Jim. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and things like that. Down below, you can access my website, social media links, YouTube channel, and various other things are on my Twitch page. Things that are happening. So there will be another game of 1 year hence coming on Tuesday. I decided to have a couple of games streamed, one before the end of the year and one after the end of the year, as it is the time of year for that. It is the new year, and so that is when the axe falls. So if folks would like to tune in, that's going to be Tuesday, probably 5 Eastern. If it's a little bit earlier, if folks want to come and see another game, we're going to have, right now we've got 5 players total, including myself for it, so we'll have another player in the mix. And upcoming, hopefully sometime in January, as we've had to push this back a little bit, Alas for the Angry Void is coming. That is my hack of Alas for the Awful Sea, where it is going to be set in space. Is going to be a gothic sci-fi story. And I am very much looking for it. I'm going to be... I'm basically taking... I've been reading a bunch of gothic novels in preparation for this. It's... I did not realize how closely related everything was to sort of the base that they started from with Alas for the Awful Sea. So this is, I'm gonna enjoy the heck out of this. So anyone who wants to check that out, that's gonna be on Sunday afternoons when we get started. Or late afternoons on Sunday. We'll see the exact date's not pinned down yet, but we need to have our session 0. And then we'll get going. So look for that. in the near future. Perhaps other things will happen as well. We shall see. I have other one-shots I want to do, and possibly other games that I'm talking to people about, but we'll see. We'll see. But in the meantime, I thank you all very much for coming and watching this, whether you're doing it live or on or watching a VOD on Twitch or on YouTube. I very much appreciate it, and it's nice getting back to streaming tabletop stuff on this channel. I think when we hit the end card, we might go and visit somebody, say hi to somebody. I haven't really looked to see who's doing stuff, but I will do that briefly after we dive off here. But if you're so inclined, feel free to hang out and say hi to them with us. Again, that will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you all of a sudden. Farewell.